You're listening to the House of Chapters podcast. Welcome to the House of Chapters podcast, episode 18. Just a short episode today with some numbers and highlights from the first season and some other information. This is the final episode of season 1. I will be taking a break for about a month and work on my debut novella, which I completed as a serial just the other week. If you're interested in that, by the way, there will be a link in the description. And also, if you've liked the podcast so far, make sure to subscribe anywhere you're listening so you don't miss out on season 2 when it drops. I will have 10 guests in season 2, and the guest spots are filling up rapidly. I'm very excited to dive in once I've recharged my batteries a bit. So I'm happy to share that this podcast, which started on December 14th, has averaged 500 streams per episode, so 9,000 streams before this episode overall. I'm blown away by these numbers and the support and just how much fun it was to record these chats with indie authors. I want to share some highlights with you. So episode 2 with Kathleen Clare Waller was the first episode to reach 500 streams in 7 days. I'm really spoiled. In that episode, we focused on Substack fiction community and writing, serials, and self-publishing. Then there was the episode with Bruno Rothgieser, titled From Serial to Publishing. It even had 600 streams in the first 7 days and was the first one to reach 700 streams overall. I was really happy to hear from Bruno that he was sure the podcast contributed to his debut novel, reaching a wider audience, particularly in the US. And I'm looking forward to the sequel to Dark Matter, as I was so lucky to get an advanced reader copy from Bruno and really enjoyed reading it. The episode with Jay Curtis, writing and revising a serialized novel, is the first one to reach 750 streams, which is really exciting. By the way, I loved every episode I shared, enjoyed every conversation I had. You have to consider these conversations are way longer than what I end up publishing. And the chat with Jay Curtis stayed with me for the rest of the week because we really connected in regards to what Jay called magnanimous ambition. So doing your best while supporting others and realizing we can all grow together, reach a lot together without having to beat each other. The episodes with Simon K. Jones, one of Substack fiction OGs, Cale Brooks, Liz Horseman, Tom Schechter, and Anne Kimbrough were all great conversations with valuable insights into writing serials, self-publishing, but also trad publishing. They all shared the plot of their stories in 1 minute, which is something I introduced in the second half of the season since I want to focus on stories and have people find out about them. By the way, all these authors were featured in one of the Serials of the Week posts at the House of Chapters, if you're interested. I also had Sean Thomas McDonald on in February. I actually finished this book yesterday. One of the Tiny Publishing World's authors, which is the indie publishing house Jay Curtis has built and is building. Another fun read from an author writing fiction on Substack. Another success story. Last but not least, Ian Patterson, award-winning author with Transference, which accompanied me in the first half of March. It was really an exciting story, but also critique of society, capitalism, and healthcare. Special thanks to Shane Busdock with 2 episodes about writing, cover design, and The Midnight Vault, which is an amazing collaborative project that started out on Substack and ended up in an actual bookstore, so basically the dream. In season 2, you can expect more fun conversations with indie authors and people from the self-publishing world. I want to keep focusing on stories, their background, so readers can discover their next read, and I want to keep focusing on indie publishing so indie authors can be inspired by what others are achieving. So that's it for season 1. I'm your host, Ian Daniels. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope you'll stick around for season 2. If this podcast is something you like, thank you for supporting it by subscribing to it anywhere you like to listen. In the meantime, thanks again and take care.